Hi everyone, I'm Whaite and I'm here on the Whaite channel and I've got a speedy, spicy, sticky chili tofu stir fry for you. It's quick to cook and delicious to eat. Now a stir fry is all about preparation. If you get everything weighed out, ready, placed into its bowls, it'll be so quick and easy to cook. So first of all, vegetables, a couple of knife skills here for you. First thing I'm going to do is get the peppers sliced. Now what I do is I go around the pepper and take off all 4 edges with my knife. Take the bottom off and the seeds and stalk are as one. So I'll do the same with the yellow pepper. Treat it like a square, even though it's not a square. Take all 4 sides off, take the bottom off, and get rid of the stalk. Now to slice the pepper, I don't tend to use the knife in the classic French motion like that to rock and chop. I prefer to use the tip of the knife for a pepper. So elevate the knife, careful with your fingertips, and you can just then slide the knife from front to back, chopping your pepper into nice even strips like that. The key thing is to make sure your knife is really sharp. A blunt knife is far more dangerous than a sharp knife. And I quite like to use a mixture of different colours, which is why I'm using the yellow and the red pepper. So I'm going to put my peppers, into a bowl there. Now for the onion. So I'm going to shave through the root end, but do leave the root end intact. Take off the stalk. Peel off the skin, and I always find whenever you're working with any veg, whatever veg it may be, to have a little table bin handy. I'm going to chop the onion in half, and then I'm going to slice that into nice fine half moon slices, going through the root this time, and that way all the layers of onion will stay together. Lovely. So I've got my peppers and my onion, but I also use tofu. This is an extra firm naked tofu, naked being that it's not dressed. It's got no flavour added to it, it's just simply plain tofu. And the extra firm is important because when you fry it, it kind of goes a little bit crispy on the outside, but it doesn't soften and melt, it stays nice and firm. And I'm going to slice it into about 1 centimetre-ish slices. Then I'll knock those over on the side, chop them into little batons of tofu. Sounds very healthy, doesn't it, a baton of tofu? And then I'll chop the batons of tofu into cubes of tofu. Into a bowl with the tofu. Gorgeous. So I'm going to put into this little mini bowl some chili powder. It is of course a sticky chili tofu stir fry. And the chilies, slice them in half, but only down one side to open them up like a duvet. If you're a bit fussy about seeds, then just take a spoon and shave out the seeds. I often just leave them in because they don't bother me. And the great thing about this recipe is that it is really, really comforting, but it's also vegan. So even if you're not a vegan, I bet you'd enjoy this. And if you are vegan, well, you've got a very special recipe indeed. So slice the chilies into fine strips, and then they go in the bowl with the chili powder. Garlic, I'm just gonna grate this or mince this. Some quite punchy flavours in this stir fry, but the beautiful thing about the tofu is that it really takes on whatever you throw at it. And as ever, the link to the full recipe is down in the video description. That's a lot of garlic. Don't be kissing any vampires. And then finally some fresh ginger. I don't need all of that. And the best way of peeling ginger is to use a teaspoon. So with a teaspoon, just scrape off that feeble little skin. And that way you don't waste anything by chopping. Now the beautiful thing about this, even though there's a bit of prep involved, is that this is such a speedy recipe. And even me, I love to cook, of course I do, I chose it as a career, but sometimes you just can't be bothered. You come home after work and you think, I want something quick and very, very gratifying. Believe you me, this offers both speed and pleasure. My partner Paul and I, we make this, and I'm being honest here, I'm not saying this for TV, we make this probably twice a week. Sometimes we do it with chicken instead of tofu, but it's blooming good with tofu. Ginger is minced. So, recap, vegetables over there, tofu over there, got my aromats here, and all I need to do now is make the sauce. So the first ingredient is a classic that I'm sure you've already got in your cupboard, some ketchup, followed by 2 tablespoons of light soy for the salty, full-bodied kick. And then for a little bit of sweetness, I use dark muscovado sugar. And then just to thicken everything, a little bit of corn flour. And it's really important that the corn flour is well mixed into the cold ingredients. If you put raw corn flour into a hot pan, it just turns to wallpaper paste. And that ain't pretty. So mix everything together. And I'm going to add to that a bit of water just to help it go a bit further. The inspiration for this dish really is not only the speed, but the great flavors. I love punchy flavors, and also I love to get as much veg as I can into a stir fry. That's the point of a stir fry, isn't it? So it really is a case of looking in my fridge one day thinking, what can I cobble together with this? And the result was pretty damn fine. Okay, time to fry. The first thing I want to do is impart a little bit of texture onto the tofu. So into a hot pan, I'm going to add just a bit of oil. Let the oil get nice and hot, and then tumble in the tofu. And just fry, tossing the pan every now and again until there's a little bit of colour and char on every side of tofu. Okay, that's got a gorgeous golden colour on it. So I'm going to just pop that back into the bowl, if I can. I'll add another little glug of oil to that now. And then I'm going to add those veg. And what I want to do here with the veg is first of all fry them to give them a little bit of colour and start that wilting process. And then I'm going to add a bit of water and just get them steamed. So fry them for a few minutes. Okay, so now that the veg is starting to soften, I'm going to go in with a good glug of water, and then I'm going to pop on a lid. And what that's going to do is, first of all, make it a bit quieter in my kitchen, but also it's going to steam those veg. So rather than just be fried, they're steam fried. And that way they'll be lovely and tender and have a gorgeous, vibrant colour. Right, it's fairly steamy in here, and what possessed me to wear a roll neck jumper today when I'm cooking a stir fry? I don't know, but fashion must come before food. No, I take that back. Food always before fashion. So the veg are lovely and tender now, but they've still got a lovely crunch and a bite, and that's exactly what you want. You don't want mushy old horrible stuff. So just let that last bit of moisture evaporate out my pan, and then I'm going to add that bowl of aromats. So that's the ginger, the garlic, fresh chili, and the chili powder. Now this will fill your kitchen with the most incredible scent. Give it a good toss if you've got the know-how. Now as soon as you can smell the garlic and the ginger, that's good enough. You don't want to overcook this because aromats have got lots of volatile oil in them. So the ginger, the garlic, and if you overcook them, you can completely obliterate the flavour. So as soon as you've got that really heady, nasally punch from the ginger and your garlic, get that sauce mixture, give it a final whisk in case the corn flour is separated, and in it goes. So let the sauce come to a boil. It has to boil, otherwise the corn flour still tastes raw. And once it's bubbling, as you can see, and it's perfectly thick, I'm going to go in with that tofu and just give that a good mix to coat the tofu in that sauce. There you have it, speedy and simple, my sticky chili tofu stir fry. I'm going to serve this with some freshly boiled rice, and I think I might have to sit on a comfy couch to eat this.